What is going on YouTube? Welcome back to Big Green Gaming. Today we start a brand new series called Big Green Gaming Budget Tech, the show where we look at gaming related tech for at, around, or under $50 and tell you if it's worth your hard earned money or not. For today's video, we'll be taking a look at the Amazon Basics charging station for the Xbox One controller. This is currently listed on Amazon for around $25, so it's pretty reasonably priced, but is it a good charger? Let's find out. Okay, so welcome back. So recently I started getting back into gaming on my Xbox One. Truth be told, the PS4 is where I spend the majority of my hours, at least this console generation, with gaming. But with Xbox Game Pass and xCloud and all this super great press that Microsoft has been generating with the Xbox One, I decided that it was time to give my Xbox One another go. And initially this was my solution here, just a few pretty basic Duracell rechargeable batteries, but these didn't work super well. And obviously this is the charger that went in the wall with them, and it wasn't a super ideal situation, so I wanted to look for something a little more sleek, if you will, and something that sort of blended in much better with the design of the Xbox. Okay, now I sort of brought back over the charging station. This is what I settled on, the Amazon Basics Xbox One game controller charger. As you can see, it's a pretty sleek design. I wish it was a little more high quality plastic, but again, for only 25 bucks, you're going to get what you pay for there, but overall, not a bad looking device. It matches the Xbox One, at least the standard Xbox One controller, quite well, fits in very well, and it looks like it would be a good piece next to the Xbox One. Now, unfortunately, the listing on Amazon at least didn't have any other colors. You're pretty much stuck with this black, but that's not too terrible, as it's just a charging station, and it's not a huge deal what color this is, but I would have liked to see a little bit of customization, but, you know, Amazon's going to try to make it as cheap as possible to produce these things, so I certainly don't blame them there. So now let's go over sort of what you get in the box. And unfortunately, I didn't save the box. It came in pretty basic packaging, so not a huge deal there. Wasn't any cool designs or anything like that. So what do you get in the box? So obviously you get the charging station itself, but you also get an AC adapter, 2 charging batteries for 2 Xbox One controllers, and 2 back plates for the back of the Xbox One controllers. You can see that it has a little slit there where you would put the battery like that, and it would rest on the charging station just like so. Now obviously the back panel blends in quite nicely with the black controllers, as they're both black there. But if you have something like I do here with a blue controller, which has a more of a blue background, as you can see there on the casing, and if you can see that in the video, it's going to stick out a little bit, especially if you have a controller that's a little bit of a louder color than that blue is. But again, not a huge deal because it is on the back of the controller. Side note, I absolutely love just sort of the controller, this blue controller here with the blue joysticks, blue D-pad, and sort of like a nice matte finish here. As you can see on this controller, it's more of a gloss right here. Yeah, just very nice, feels very nice in the hands. I know that's kind of a deviation from this video, but it just is a good feel, and I give credit to Microsoft for these really cool looking controllers. Okay, so how exactly does this work? Well, it's kind of simple, but I'll go through the process. You take your controller, pop off the back panel that is normally there, insert your batteries like so. Well, if I could do it the right direction, that'd probably be good. It goes in like that. Then you grab your new back panel and slide it on, and then you would just insert it onto your charging stand. Now they do have 2 LEDs. I'll kind of show that at the end of the video. There's a red LED that'll show up here if there's some charging left to do, and obviously it'll be green if your controller is good to go. So with all that being said, these battery packs actually hold their charge pretty well. I've been on one charge for about a week and a half now. That being said, I only play probably about for an hour each day, so I'm not gaming as intensely on the Xbox One, at least, as some of you might, but the charging packs do hold their battery very well. But yeah, as I mentioned, your mileage is probably going to vary a little bit depending on how much you play and how often you play, but you certainly won't have to be charging the controllers every single day. So the Amazon listing claims that it takes around 2.5 hours to fully charge your controllers. I feel like that's a little bit of a long time, but again, if you're only using one controller at a time, not a huge deal. Let me know if that's a pretty standard time. It feels like it might be a little bit on the longer side, but I'm not sure. But again, nothing too egregious to me, and I think for most people that's probably going to be fine. So obviously I did some cleaning up here to make it a little bit more pleasing to the eye, but it also does come with a 1-year warranty. I'm not sure on the specifics on how exactly that warranty works, so don't take my word for it, but that's at least nice to see that that is thrown in there. So those are some of the pretty good positives of this charging stand. It does its job very well. It looks sleek. It looks like it belongs sort of in the Xbox family, but there are some negatives, just as there would be with any device. So obviously the one negative is you can't use the standard backs to your controllers that come with the controllers. I mean, that's kind of obvious. It has to recharge somehow. But the biggest issue with these sort of backs is I'm glad that they do give you those and they don't give you just the battery. I guess you could use it just the battery, but they don't fit on the controller super well. I don't know if you kind of noticed when I put the back on the controller, but they slide off incredibly easy, like no effort at all to get that thing off. And I've tried a couple different ways, like it's lined up pretty well there. Press down, it gives a click, and you feel like it's secure. Like it doesn't jostle around or anything, but it's very easy if you're playing games to kind of take, I guess what would be your middle finger and just pop it off. It comes out very, very easily without too much effort at all, and that's not super awesome. I've actually just been taking these backs off and playing without it and just using the battery pack. You actually don't notice it, as you can see kind of where I have my finger placement. It doesn't really touch that back of the controller, or at least around this area, too much, but it is kind of annoying that that back is no longer there. Just certainly something to think about. So the other sort of annoyance that I have with this, let's go ahead and pretend like this does fit on pretty well. It's difficult to tell exactly how you need to set this stand up to, and I see I'm already having problems getting this back to sit on. Let's go. There we go. It's difficult to tell when this stand is charging. So as you can see, it's raised up right now and you press it down and that's the charging position. But because this back jostles around and moves around so much, you have to sort of set the controller down and then press. And because, ooh, I even wiggled the camera there, because you have to press down on it, you can jostle around that back and just make it so the connector doesn't line up perfectly with the charging stand and then it won't charge. Obviously, a little bit annoying there and something that you're going to want to think about. It doesn't get in the way a whole lot. You'll just have to kind of do some finicking to get it on there. But yeah, something that you're going to have to take into consideration. So overall, not a terrible charging stand. Again, it's only $25. I saw quite a few different charging stations for around $35, $45, and those probably wouldn't have the same issues that this station does have. But hey, for 25 bucks, you can't really beat it. I'd say if you are in absolute need of a charger and you kind of want to go with a brand that's somewhat reputable, not something that is from a sort of strange factory or anything like that, this is the way to go. So thanks for watching the video, guys. I'll try to do a few more of these tech reviews, all these sort of low budget tech. Hopefully you'll like them, and I'll see you guys in the next video.